Basically. Oh my goodness. Well, hello. Sorry about this debacle. Sorry about the lateness of the show. Sorry about that lateness of the show. Hold on a second. Let's just go ahead and try to turn myself up a bit. Alright, hopefully that'll do for now. I'll have to remember to turn this back down. So, welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing good. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. Sorry. Okay, so I started a new job. Shit. Start over. Let's start over. Welcome to the show. My name is Brian, and I'm happy to have you here. If you're new, welcome for show. If you're returning, thank you. Always appreciate it. And I hope it's entertaining, at least a little bit, for you. Because that's kind of, what I'm trying to do here. So, that being said, normally I do this show on Fridays. And, well, I started a new job and I'm in training. I was supposed to go camping with some of my buddies, but just with the new job and financially, it just didn't work out. It was very unfortunate because I haven't seen these dudes in a really long time. And I need it as much as, they needed it, which I'm sure they got it out that system. I hope they had some fun. So yeah, I didn't get to go, but I did work Friday, and I stayed as late as I could. Some of the other people for training, they were able to go home early. The boss was like, "Hey, if you want, you guys could go." It was like 2 hours ahead of time, and so everybody, there was like 7 people that just decided to yeah, we're done. And me and this other girl decided, to stay and actually shadow some people, get, a little more experience, get a better understanding of what's going on. Let me just go ahead and turn this music off. So we decided to stay back, and I mean, the pay is pretty good. So to say no to that kind of pay for just all we're gonna do, and all we did was kind of stand around and watch over somebody's shoulder. And which mic is it? This one. And so we just stand over somebody's shoulder and kind of watch what they're doing. And that's what I did. And it was so easy. The easiest almost $40 I've ever made. But it was nice to get that kind of experience and view of everything. And I definitely had some brownie points earned for that. So it worked out for me as far as my job goes, hopefully. And it doesn't work out for me because I couldn't go and kind of get some shit out my system. get this guy out the way. Hopefully it doesn't fall out. It might fall out. It might fall out. It might fall out. Whatevs. So Friday, I get home from work. I'm really fucking tired. And I smash a bunch of food. And it's close to showtime. Sorry. And I'm all excited. I'm amped up, ready to go. Ready to do the show. Because I'm home. And after eating, I just remember waking up. It was like 2:30, maybe 3 in the morning. I'm like, what? Just in the worst position ever. Just the worst. So I get up and go lay down. Didn't even really think of it at that time. Woke up the next day just like really pissed off that I missed it. Like, I know I'm not anything special and I don't have 25 billion followers, and you know, sometimes I get shit from my friends. Why do you even do this? And you know, well, first of all, you know, trying to stick to a schedule and get something solid going. And you know, you make a commitment to something, you do it, whether or not whatever. And I try to do that. It's hard. It really is. And I didn't mean to miss it this Friday. So here I am now trying to make up for it. If you watch the show, you know that this is the dual mics. That's something new. Well, I finally... Okay, there's so many things I want to go over. Well, there is and there isn't. Oh, you can hear that. The fizzy pops. The fizzy pops. And my addiction bubbles. So many things. One of the things that I just can't get out of my mind. One of my friends, we were talking about something. I happened to mention like somebody had a kid or their baby or something along those lines. She's like, "Oh, a sex trophy?" A sex trophy. I like that. That's such a weird thought. But it was also really funny because us guys, at least me, I'm very visual. So when people are talking and telling me a story, like, I'm picturing that story with my, you know, maybe not your people, but with what I imagine these people to be, like, detailed story. Like, it's happening, almost like a movie. Anyway, so I'm picturing going up, I don't know, one of my friends I haven't seen in a long time, just in a really long time, just lost touch for whatever reason. Just meet up. It's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, buddy?" It's like, "Oh, I want you to meet my kids." He introduces me, and I just like, "Those are some fine sex trophies you have there, my friend." It's so stupid. But sex trophies, what a weird thought. It's like, I had sex. Here's my trophy. It made some weird kind of sense to me. It was terrible and hilarious all at the same time. So now I'm going to use it all the time. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring up before I forgot, which is why I just threw it out there very randomly. I have no plans for tonight. I'm just glad I was able to kind of get things together in time to actually start close to midnight. Granted, I should be asleep because I have to get up at 7. And I'm already really tired from today. I didn't get a lot of sleep. But commitment, I gotta make up for it. That being said, I wanted to test a couple things too that I have set up, which I'm sure it's bound to fail, but we will see. I will try it. How I have things set up so far, I'm not sure how I like it. I don't know if there's a lag or not, just because of how things are running right now. I'm surprised I haven't dropped any frames, so that's pretty cool. I am going to do some music at the end tonight. On that note, I guess we'll just go with that for now. If you haven't noticed, I have a lot of musical gear. You can see it on the little screen. A little bit. You know what? BK is going to make this big for you. So as you can see, I have some gear. But this pedal right down here, if you're watching the video, this is a MIDI pedal, and it can be set up to do whatever the fuck you want, really. It's just buttons that can be programmed like just all sorts of ways. So what I ended up doing is I programmed it for these 3 iPads. Now, this this iPad on the top left right here, this is one of my vocal mics, vocal iPads. And this one is my other vocal iPad. So I used to only have one, and now I have, obviously, as you can see, 2 microphones, but now they're both set up differently, so I can do a lot of weird looping things now, which I think I'm going to try. I think I'm going to try it tonight. And it was funny because talking to Sam, if you've seen the show, you've probably seen him on the earlier episodes. He's been on here when he can. Our schedules are just all fucked at the moment. But I was telling him, because I kind of set this up half-assed last night. You know, I just kind of started setting everything up, and I kind of tested it. And it ended up, like, I looped one of my voices with, like, a beat. And then, I don't remember what I did on the other one. But it's really funny because I was holding it, and then I looped it on my programs. And then the only thing that came to my brain, you know what? I'm not going to tell you because, hold on, let me make this smaller now so you can see my face. So, I'm not going to tell you what the song was because if I can recreate this tonight, I'll be happy. That's fine with me. And, you know, if the video lags, so be it. As long as the audio is good, it'll really be worth it. And just know, and I'm sure after I do it, before, you know, I do the send-off, I will explain it. But it's just the first thing that came to my head. But it was so, it was so hard. And I did laugh when this happened. But the fact that it fits so well, I just kept going with it and expanding on it, and it just kind of got out of control real fast. So, you'll see. You will see. Hopefully. I'm going to try. Hopefully it'll all still be connected properly still. Hopefully everything will still be working. Hopefully the other cameras I have set up for what I want to do are still going to be going hard. That being said, I just took everything apart kind of with all these iPads and with this pedal. So bear with me with some of this shit. On my last show, there was a lot of crackling for one of the songs. Well, I found out that my iPad I was using and the dock for the guitar, one of the back plugs was like not even plugged in all the way. So it was in and out, and that's what all those crackle pops were. So I took care of a lot of things. I had to reroute a lot of MIDI things, replug things in a little differently. But how I think I have it so far, I think it should be okay, and it should be able to do what I want it to do. It's gonna be real insane. That's all I can really say. I had a blast with it myself, and just like I was kicking myself in the ass because it's like, God damn it, I should be sharing this right now because I'm over here by myself, just like dancing around to what I'm making, just like, oh my fucking God, that's what I fucking say. Let's get this out there. But I think, you know, it's one of those times when you're just like in your boxer briefs, that's all you're wearing, maybe have one sock on, and you're just doing something, and you didn't mean to, like, start doing that thing, and then you get a little more involved and then caught up in it, and next thing you know, you're making beats, your guitar is tuned, and I don't know what's happening right now. Don't judge. Or judge. Do what you want. Oh, usually I have the Twitter screen thing. Let's go back to the main and see how that works out. I just know that this camera, it looks like it's being all slow and choppy. Chapay. It's being Chapay. Oh, 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 see? I knew there was something going on here. You piece of dungle. Well, the video looks good. It's just an iPhone 5 and it's prehistoric. And it's like, the only other thing, I have another camera. It's even older than the iPhone 5. It's like one of the first webcams ever in history. Like, worst megapixel. I don't even know if it has a megapixel. So maybe I'll try that next time. Gotta work with what you got, I suppose. And again, this is all just set up in a weird way. I could always switch things up, use different programs with different phones, try them out. But we're just getting started. I'll figure it all out. I got some time. And yeah, people, just so you know, at the end of every show, granted, I don't have my big house anymore. I don't have an electronic drum set for my buddies to come over and play. However, I do, you know, if someone wants to bring a guitar over and someone else wants to bring a bass over, we can set it up and jam. I got these drums on deck. Granted, it's not a drum set, and I'm going to have to loop some things, but it's like we could still play and jam out. So at the end of every show, even though I am by myself, I will still try to rock it out, and it's usually kind of improv. Some of the licks, you know, I may start with, you know, go to some of my other songs, but then they turn into something else. And the last 3 shows, I'm not going to lie, especially on Spotify and Apple iTunes, because I really edited the sound a lot with those when I put them up there, those episodes 13 through 15. By the way, those ending songs ended up being pretty fucking cool. And I was listening to 2 of the different episodes, like just I fast forwarded to the ending just to where the music starts. And I was pleasantly surprised at myself. And I kind of want to turn 2 of those things I was fucking around with into some songs. But yeah, just know if you're bored, and you can always fast forward through these if it's not live and go straight towards that music if you want. But at least with these 3 episodes, I put some time into messing with the music to try to make it sound as good as I could and as loud as I could. So, you know, feel free, check it out. You don't have to, it's alright. It's up there, though, if you do want to. And, you know, if you get froed, you got that medical marijuana card or whatever you may do, get a little buzzed, do that, and then put some headphones on and check it out. It's not bad. And especially tonight's, because there should be a lot of panning, which means like stuff will be on the left, some stuff will be on the right, some will be in the middle. It all depends. So like that kind of shit is best with like a really good sound system or some good headphones or in your car. It's not great in the car. I mean, it's not bad, but just because where the speakers are and how they're set up, it sounds great. But still, especially with heavy pan stuff, you could lose stuff. Especially if there's like people in the car block it. Like, it's weird. Anyway, but it's interesting. It's so crazy. Those bubbles pick up. It's so, you can hear everything. It takes me back to when I was 15, working at McDonald's. Now, dude, this is when I was 15. I am 39 right now. Now, when I was 15, working at McDonald's, that's forever ago. So anyway, I was there working the drive-thru, and you wear these headsets, right? Now, you think it's way back in the day. So long. I'm pretty fraud, so I'm not even going to try to calculate. I know it's sad. Anyway, you can do the math. So with these headsets, I was all about music back then, so I knew, you know, the right pair of headphones can make the biggest difference. Like, you go to CVS and buy headphones, they're garbage. They don't sound good. So you would expect something like McDonald's to kind of have a shitty kind of speaker thing because they're just taking an order. No, these things had like high-tech, supersonic like I could hear your grandmother fart from 20 miles away. Fucking accuracy sound. It was insane. People would pull up, and I shit you not, their windows would be rolled down. You could hear the car clear as day, but you could hear them whisper like this to each other in the car. They'd be like, "I don't really like this place," but like you could hear them whisper. Like, what does McDonald's need that for? Why do I need to hear these people's inside of their stomach? Like you could hear everything. So people just know, and I'm sure it's way better now. I haven't worked in fast food in a long time. I'm sure it's way better now. So just know, when you pull up to that speaker box, when you were right next to it, even if they're like, "What did you say?" Odds are they could probably hear you whispering. You could be far away, but they could probably hear you whisper just like that. I promise you. I promise you. It was scary and almost disgusting how clear and good you could hear people in their car whisper to each other. So just your best bet is to just not have any kind of conversation in front of that box, or most likely it will be heard and you will be judged when you pull up to that window hard. So, people don't like spit in their food. Well, just be careful what you say. These people are listening. I know I was. And, I was a kid, so kids really don't give fucks, especially when they're kind of forced to work. Don't even want to be there. So don't piss off your food workers. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying anything else. We're not all perfect. I will say, though, I allegedly may or may not have learned how to scam working up there, which again, I was a kid, not perfect, but I may or may not have, with a couple other employees, figured out and it was terrible, and I'm not like this anymore, so just know that. And there's going to be some stories I get into in the future episodes which will kind of, in my younger years, I was definitely a piece of shit. Definitely did some fucked up stuff. We'll go over it. I have time, especially now that I seem to be doing these shows by myself, so we can get into these stories now. And that's probably what I'm going to do and focus on. And hopefully, by the time I run out of stories, I will have figured out a time where I can get all the bros back. But no, working at McDonald's, we would scam people, man. It was fucked up, and especially in the morning times, people were in a hurry. So just be careful, people, because I'm sure this happens nowadays. We couldn't have been the first people to think this up. And this is also before there was digital screens. But, these people would pull up and their order would be, especially, you do it on the big ones, because it'd be harder to figure it out on the smaller ones. But people would be like, "Oh yeah, let me get this and this and this," and their total would be $15.98, and you'd just be like $17.62, or just something where you can make some easy change, and you give it back to them, and then you do the math and make sure your drawer evens out, and then you just every kind of big order, you just, sometimes it's just $1, sometimes it's a couple, nothing crazy. And it wasn't everybody, And I keep this in mind, too. Even when I was a piece of shit, I did still have a rule where you don't fuck with little kids. And you don't fuck with old people. And, I definitely, I stuck with that. And I working there, people would just order a number 2, which back then was 2 cheeseburgers, a fry, and a drink. And I would walk up. Now, this is when they just had 20 sandwiches of this kind, 20 sandwiches of this kind, 20 sandwiches of this kind, just all lined up. So you just walk up and you take what you need. Well, sometimes, just because I was in a good mood, I would just grab 8 cheeseburgers, 3 Big Macs. Granted, they only needed 2 cheeseburgers and a fry, and some chicken nuggets. I would just throw some of this shit in, and I would just hook up random people. And it wasn't just, I think I hooked up people more than, I pulled the stupid money scam. Because the money thing I learned from this one kid towards the end of my employment at McDonald's. But yeah, I was 15, man. That was another time. And like I said, I was a piece of shit kid. And I may or may not have daily taken bags of mini M&Ms, possibly. And just like all my friends would come over, and it would be to the point where, you know, like we back in the day, we used to have these big Tupperware fucking bowls. They were humongous. Like you could put dozens of cookies in some of these plastic containers. It was insane. And I had one in my room, and I don't know how they are anymore these days. But back when I was, 15 working there, and Flurries first started coming out or whatever, um, the bags were pretty big, and they were just like, when you buy shit from the store and there's just like 10 inches of nothing but air in the bag, and then there's some kind of product in there. Well, McDonald's, those bags were, stuffed to the brim, just full bag of M&M minis. And, some of those may or may not have disappeared like daily. And once you start pouring those into a bowl, that bowl starts to fill up. And next thing you know, you have this giant Tupperware bowl of just M&M minis. And the weird part was, like, I don't think my parents were divorced at that point yet. I don't think. But the weird part was, like, my parents came in my room. They had to have seen the big bowl of M&M minis that may or may not have been there. And just like, how, and my mom was a manager up there. Like, you'd have to know that these things were missing, especially at the rate that they may or may not have come up missing. Oh, those are the weird days. Those were the days. Okay, so those were the days when PlayStation 1 was out, and you had to buy a mod chip from China or from somewhere. I don't even remember how we got these things way back in the... I bought them from a kid in the lunchroom. And this is back when GamePro was out and Nintendo Power Magazine. And anyway, so the PlayStation 1 came out. Burnable CDs just became a thing, and we just got a computer and a CD burner. And of course, my dad didn't know what he was doing with this computer, but I sure did. That kind of got me into all sorts of trouble, which we could get into at a later date. But it was cool because back then with the mod chip, what that was is basically it was like this little box thing that you plug into the back of your PlayStation, and then it came with a spring, and the PlayStation had a door that opened up from the top of it. You hit a button and the door opens up, and the way that the PlayStation knows... Whoa, settle down. And the way that the PlayStation knows that it's closed is when you close the lid, there's like this little dick sticking out from the top of the lid that presses this button down. Well, to play these copied burned games, you have to load up the PlayStation stuff first, so it thinks it's a legit game. So basically, you put this spring that kind of goes over the dick part and presses the button down, so it thinks it's closed when really the top is open. So you put a real game in, doesn't matter what game it was. Any game would work as long as like the black bottom. So you put that in, turn it on, it loads up, it says the PlayStation stuff, and eventually the CD will stop spinning, and then it's time to load the actual game. So once it stops, you got to pull the real one out, and then you put the copied game in, and then you can play any copied game, anything you had burned. So, you go to Movie Mart or Hollywood Video, and you just burn these fucking video games, and then you just bring them home, and just, oh man. Like, I had this big ass CD book just full of fucking games. So many games. It was pretty cool. I kind of miss those days, just smashing M&M minis, maybe, allegedly, and then maybe possibly playing a bunch of burned games. But you know what's it's so fucked? Like, they don't make games like they used to. My favorite game was Capcom versus Marvel, and this is back when you actually had to know what the fuck you were doing with these buttons, and you don't just press a couple and things happen. You know, like this is back in like Mortal Kombat Ultimate 3 or whatever, or Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Like you actually had to press actual combos and do things, and they don't make that shit anymore, man. But Marvel vs. Capcom was such a cool, crazy game. That and Siphon Filter, man. But yeah, mod chips, bro. That was before, or just as the internet was getting started, I'm pretty sure. That was when I had to borrow VHS tapes of Dragon Ball Z that this kid ordered from Japan that we had to read all the subtitles of. It was pretty intense. It was a weird thing. He just let me borrow these videos, and they weren't in the best shape. Like, you're watching them, lines are still through it, just like trying to fix the tracking. And by tracking, that means if you're watching the video and the video starts to distort and get all crazy, there's a button you hit. It's either up or down with tracking, and somehow it stretches it or twists it or it does something, but it's supposed to help try to fix the picture. Old school tech. But, holy shit, man. What a crazy time to be alive. To all the females and ladies in the States. I can't imagine how you are feeling right now. It's 2022. What the fuck is happening? This is insane. If you watch my show, or if you don't, now you will know. I am a strong believer. Sorry, I'm doing some coughing. I'm trying to keep that out of the show as much as I can. I am a strong believer that, no one knows what the fuck we're doing here on this earth. No one knows no one knows what's going on. That being said, no one should tell anybody what the fuck to do. Obviously, yes, there are some great ways out there to stay safe and to do things right and properly, but you know what? You only live once, and I don't know. You should be able to do whatever you want. No one should have any say over what you are going to do in this life. You do some terrible things to people, yeah, maybe some things should happen to you, but honestly, man, you wanna do a bunch of drugs or whatever, cool, go ahead and do it. You wanna, I don't know, jump off a building and parachute, cool, do it. But, just know that there are consequences if you hurt people. I think that's where I would draw the line. Do what you want. If you hurt yourself, that's on you. But you hurt somebody else, that's when we get involved. So that's where I am on that. So, you want to shoot up and OD on heroin, and, are you hurting so bad that you just want out of this life? You're just old and you're just ready to go, and you just want to be out. I mean, that's your choice. You do it. You want to upload your brain into a computer and try to live forever? Cool, figure it out. Good luck, bro. But it's just like, who am I to tell you not to do something? I mean, just look at me. There's a bunch of me's out there telling people not to do things and what to do and how to do them, and that their way of doing it is better than yours or the right way. It's like, what? It's like, how about you let me figure it out? And the things I like, I'm just going to do it. Don't worry, you'll be fine. I promise. This won't affect your life at all. I'm just going to do it, and I'll be over here. And you do your thing. It's... I don't know what to expect after this life. I feel like this... As much as I don't want to say it, there might not be anything. Which would suck. So... I try to live as comfortable as I can always. I have lots of onesies. I will wear them anytime, all the time. And, I just eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it. I'm not in the best shape and I'm not in the worst shape, but I don't know if I have nutrients in my body. But to tell somebody, especially lots of bodies, like, hey, person that's just like me, you can't do this. Sorry, it's the law. Like, that's, I don't know, man. This whole abortion thing, I just feel so bad, especially rape and incest. Yeah. First of all, just that alone, the mother probably would not want to have the child. I don't want to get too political or into too much of this, but just imagine for a second, if you will, someone got raped and it was incest, okay, and they got that person pregnant. Sure, the mother wouldn't want that, but okay, just think of that baby being born and the chance that it could just have some kind of defect or something wrong with it where, yes, you let it live, you gave it life, whatever, when maybe it would have been aborted. But now just think of this thing that's growing up in agony every day, possibly. This is a hypothetical. It's an incest child. So, with those, they say there are lots of problems here, there, whatever. So imagine this child being born. Cool, hooray, you let it live. Like this law, great. But now, again, this, maybe it has a breathing problem or it'll never be able to see its whole life or, I don't know. I'm not saying those people won't live great lives but just, there's so many ways to think about this. And especially when you're not the one in that situation, it's hard to make a call like that. And it's never going to be an easy one, I'm sure. But the fact that to push your shit onto somebody else, it's like, who the fuck are you? Who are you to tell me this? You're just another person like me. Do you know what's going on? Do you know what's going to happen when we die? Do you know? No. We're all guessing, assuming. There's some scientists out there figuring some shit out, but not in our lifetime. We're never going to know about it. Maybe. Probably not. But I mean, it's just sad. It's just fucked up. It's 2022, and honestly, I can't believe all the hate that's still out there. With as connected as we are with everything, and just with all the different cool shit out there, the fact that there's just all this bullshit and hate, you think we'd be better evolved as a species. It's fucked up. But it is what it is, I suppose. I'm sure that this podcast ain't gonna change much, but that's just how I feel on this whole matter. I think it's wrong. I think a woman should be able to make her own choices and do what she wants. It's not for anybody else to decide. So what a weird time to be alive. And it's weird how angry I got watching. It was like right after the verdict came out or something. And I haven't watched the news in a long time or CNN or whatever, but I happened to turn it on right as this lady was just like defending all of this. Like, oh no, it's great that this happened. And I was just like, how can you say this? Like, what? I don't think that's great at all. I don't think that's okay. It's not okay. This is supposed to be the United States. We're supposed to have freedoms. That's USA, freedom, America. Do what I want. Eric Cartman, come on. That's what makes this great. That's how we make it great again. Freedom. Give us our freedoms back. Everybody stop being such a little bitch. God damn. Hey, let's figure out what to do with all this garbage piling up, How about that? It's weird, just like, as a kid, and I've done it too. When I smoked cigarettes, you smoke it and then you just flick your butt. That being said, as I got older, I kind of started feeling bad. It was actually after I saw Sam, my buddy Sam, doing it. He's just putting his cigarettes out and just like throwing them away. making sure they're out completely first, but just then throwing them away. And it's like, you know, that makes a lot of sense. And like now, being the adult I am and the non-smoker that I am, it's watching these people just throw their butts on the ground. Just like, God damn, can you imagine if you just like, just for 1 week, if you just threw them on your front seat, like the passenger side on the floor, if you just like threw them all down there instead of like throwing them away, or just throwing them in the street, like, you know how many, like, that would fill up so much of your car. I don't know. I mean, I'm guilty. Like I said, I'm guilty of that too. But again, I was a kid and I didn't give a shit. I wasn't taught properly. I'm sure I was. I just didn't listen. I didn't have time for that. I did what I want, America. I rode my bike and built ramps. Some Wonder Years shit. That's what I did. Oh, man. So, yeah. So, that really sucks. I'm sorry, ladies. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. And all the chaos that's happening now, all the states that still allow it, almost like instantly booked up for months now, you know, from all these out-of-towners. So now, you know, people living in these states, if they need something done like that, it's going to be really hard for them to schedule something for themselves now. So it's just weird how much this is going to impact everybody. I don't even know how this got passed. I am so ashamed. So ashamed, man. And I just, you know, I don't know what a Republican is. I don't know what a Democrat is. I don't pay attention to any of that shit. I have a super, super vague understanding. But just from what I was watching on CNN, just like there's a bunch of, I guess, Republicans in Ohio, and they're all about this. So just from that alone, I'm not too happy with those people at the moment. Just from this, you know, I think it's real fucked up. But you know, I don't know who's to blame. Either way, if you voted for this, I think you're kind of fucked up. So nobody should be telling anybody what to do with themselves. You weren't in their shoes. You will never know what it's like to be like, unless you've been in it, you will never know. You could assume all you want. Just like back in one of the episodes, I was talking about how I was a kid, and you know, you learn about sex, and that's all you think about, and then you think about how getting raped would be so cool. Well, you know, and then I got raped by a girl. Guess what? It wasn't fucking cool. It's not what you think it's gonna be like, and of course, again, I was a kid when I was having these thoughts, so don't judge. But you can assume all you want. You'll never know what it's like to be, you know, held down and just taken advantage of. Especially when you made it clear you don't want anything to do with any of that. And even worse, if it's some kind of family member doing this to you against this, not like you're not being given a choice almost. And then to just seal the deal, now these people voted your choice away when you have a choice to make and can make it. It's like, well, you know what? We know you've been through something, and we know now is the time, but sorry, you can't do that anymore. It's like, what? I don't know, man. That shit's just, that's disturbing. It's very disturbing. It's like, what's coming next? This is just the start. You know, it always takes that first domino to get the rest to fall. And if you ask me, this is that first domino, and what it's fallen into and what it's gonna do. Oh boy, nothing good. Probably nothing good, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. But I wish there was some place to go that just A, didn't have people that just want to kill you all the time. B, people that just hate you. It just I need a utopia. I just need to get away from all these crazy people. All these Karens, just sensitive people that just can't handle words. My feelings, but my feelings. We all have feelings. We all go through some shit. And I even do like to voice when, it's like, oh, this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. It makes me feel better, but I'm still doing it, whatever that bullshit is, and just getting through it. It just makes me feel better to do. I'm not the one that bitches about it and just doesn't do it and just, bitches about it some more until things change. And then bitch about that because it's not exactly what you wanted, but it's kind of, but it's not. Yeah, I wonder what's next. We'll see. We will see. But I'm sure it'll be interesting either way. I'm sure it'll be interesting. Man, I am really, really tired. I might have to cut this show short by a half hour and just start the music early. Because not only do I want to test the iPads, all three of them, I want to test them with this pedal and make sure it's all working. And honestly, I don't remember how I set up the guitar one. Or how I set up this other one. So it'll be interesting. I might fuck some shit up, but I'm going to try to make it fun. And it might take me a couple days to put it on iTunes and Spotify, but just know when I do, the music part should sound badass. Because as I do things, every episode that I throw on there, I kind of started with a template and kind of added and took some things away and tweaked things as needed per episode. Because, I tweak stuff out here for when I'm going to play, just like with all these iPads. And that changes everything for the show. So every show, it's just different, and I have to tweak every one, and they're all going to sound different. Maybe one day I'll just have it permanently set a certain way, so I don't really have to do much. But I'm going to try to, especially with the music part, put a little more time into that part. Oh, excuse me. Bubbly. Oh, the bubbles. Oh, the bubbles in my pants. Oh, man. So, I can't wait to try some of this stuff. It's going to be stupid and insane. I look forward to all of it. Alright. Okay. Everything still seems to be working. My question is, though, like, how I have the camera set up to do weird shit. I wonder if that'll work. Because it's almost needed. Because I don't have my cool lights set up. I have my LEDs. There's nowhere to put stuff in here. I don't want to put holes in things in this house. Piss. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to end the show now. And just start fucking with some music stuff. And hopefully it'll be entertaining enough. So again, guys, I apologize for not doing the show Friday. I passed out on you. I'm sorry. So you'll just have to deal with that, I suppose. And we'll move on. And I'll try to be better about it. But I know these are just the training hours, too. What's weird is, like, after I go through all these training things, they're going to change up my actual work time on me. So now I'm at, like, 9 to 5s, and then, I'll stay as late as I can because I'm getting paid good money. So it's like, yeah, I'll stay after. Yeah, I'll shadow some people and work over, which is what I've been doing. Shit, I forgot I was going with that. Oh, yeah, but they said when they actually give me the job offer, because I'm hired in through a temp agency right now, that my hours will change probably to night shift. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. So, I guess we'll try this other shit out. So I hope this camera wasn't too bad. I hope it wasn't too laggy. I hope it was doable if you're watching it. I'm doing the best I can with what I got, and I'm ever evolving and changing things. So, just gotta do it, I suppose. And I think I finally got my metronome thing set up, so I don't think that you guys should hear it anymore. I could be wrong. You know what? Let's just... Huh. No, I think it would be coming in way louder. Okay, so I don't think you can hear it. So that's cool. All right, man. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope it was entertaining. I hope this will be entertaining to you. I'm really tired. But, you know, hopefully I can make something interesting to listen to on the way to work tomorrow. So, I'm going to put it on the silly hold screen of my sister. No, you know what? Let's just, I guess let's just get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Oh, I gotta turn this down. Let's get to it. Oh, damn it. Alright. This is exciting. Oh, man, I forgot I had candies on me. All right. Okay. Let me get some double. Alright, so I guess I'm setting the tone for this song. Okay. Setting the tone for this sound. Just give me another second here. Reset session. Alright, reset session. Alright, so here we go. Without further ado, I'm gonna try to fuck some shit up. Okay, here we go. sun doesn't make the picture clearer, does it? On and on you tried, but do you got now? Something, but it's nothing, and it's everything to someone. Renounce, it's a joke. I got some Oh, we about to get crazy over here. This one goes out the same. Okay. So, I was talking to Sam earlier today, and I was telling him about this thing that I was doing when I was doing this. And we're gonna try to make it happen right now. Let's hope I can remember the shit I use. Let's hope I can remember the shit that I use. pants and my pants have So, I need something to, there we go. Okay, this will be funny. I need to be, let's try this out. I have ants in my pants, and my pants have ants. I have... I have ants in my pants, and my pants have ants. I have ants, and ants, 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 and ants, 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 ants. Ants in my pants, I have ants in my pants, ants in my pants, I have ants in my pants. I have ants in my pants, and my pants have ants. I have ants, 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 ants in my pants, and my pants have ants. They are in my pants, 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 pants. Oh my God, these ants, they are up inside my pants. Pants in my ants, and my ants have pants. I have ants in my pants, and my pants have ants. I have ants in my pants, and my pants have ants. Hey, hey man, ants in my pants, 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 I have ants, they are in my pants. I have the ants, they are pants. Ants, ants, ants. I have ants, they are in my pants. Do you have ants in your pants? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. I got ants in my pants. I have ants up in my pants. I have ants in my pants. I have ants up in my pants. Yes, 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 yes. Ants up in my pants. Yes, 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 yes. Everybody, I got ants up in my pants. I got ants, ants, ants. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. I have ants, they are in my pants. I have ants 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 in my pants. Hey, everybody, let's see my ants. Hey, everybody, let's see my ants in my. Hey, everybody, let's see my ants. 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 Ants in my pants, I have ants up in my pants. Ants in my pants, I have ants up in my pants. These fucking ants. Hey, everybody got some ants up in my. Hey, everybody got some ants up in my pants. Hey, 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 everybody got some ants up in my pants. Ants. Oh, these ants. Tell me about these ants. Ants in my pants. I have ants up in my pants. Ants in my pants. I got ants up in my pants. These fucking ants. Ants up in my pants. I got these ants up in my pants. These fucking ants. Ants up in my fucking pants. My ants up fucking ants.
fucking hands up now inside my panties. Fucking hands up inside. I got these hands up inside. Hands up on your hands. Hands up in my pants. Ants in my pants, got some ants up in my pants. I got some ants in my pants, got some ants up in my pants. Got some ants in my pants, got some ants up in my pants. Got some ants up inside my pants. Got some ants, ants, in my pants. So have you seen it? Fucking ants up in my pants. They are up inside of my pants. And inside my pants. And inside my pants. And inside my pants. This ants. Ants up inside of my pants. Fucking ants inside my fucking pants. past. Got these hands up in my past. I got these hands inside my past.
I used to be and I said this answer. Oh, and no, just don't every time I thought you knew. You knew.
Up in my pants, up in my pants. In my pants, and my pants have ass. Ich habe Ameisen in meiner Hose. Mein Hose hat Ameisen. Ich habe Ameisen in meiner Hose und mein Hose hat Ameisen. I have ants in my pants and my pants have ants. Ich habe Ameisen in meiner Hose und mein Hose hat Ameisen. I have ants in my pants and my pants have ants.
Thanks for joining me, guys. I don't know what's happening right now, but thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time. This has been another musical test from B-COLESLAW.